those early aggressions. That's what I feel. But it's time for the draft. It is Geek Fam on the blue side and Resurgence on the red. We have seen Resurgence pop up so many times before, and it could possibly be their game as well. The hardest guess for me, Contra, and Gideon right here.
Yeah, of course. Actually, I want to put in another challenge as well before we get ourselves breaking this one down. I need you guys to put those numbers in.
Okay.
Like, that best of 5. How many games are each side gonna get? So, of course, now I'm gonna start mine. It's gonna be a 3-2 for me.
100%. 100%.
It could be a 3-1, but I'm expecting at least 4 to 5 games.
I'm saying 3-2 as well, bro. 3-2. 3-2. Gideon?
Honestly, it's either gonna be a 3-0 or a 3-2. It just cannot be a 3-1 or some nonsense like that. Like, once a team gets momentum, it's hard to break. But let's jump right into the draft here, and we can see that Geek Fam have already started by taking away the Uranus, taking away options from Resurgence, which allows them to get the one and only Atlas. Let's see whether KZP can really turn it for his team, because now they've kind of shown that they want to play a team fight composition with a hyper carry variation.
And now, of course, with a couple of all these options of the carries being left, Fix is looking to secure carry itself. So, what do you feel will be the best option here? But Dicky finally sees the light of day after so long, and the Grand Finals first matchup, and we're looking at LY4, of course, having his legs shaking for a little bit. Okay, well, however he's supposed to actually pull this off.
This automatically means that Resurgence has to focus less on CC heroes, because they just know that, you know, with Diggy's time journey, it's just going to be really difficult to land a lot of the CC, which is why they go for the Pharsa here. It's going to be hard pickups for them right now. Atlas is going to have a lot of trouble and problems going into this game.
Yeah, and
for sure,
one more thing to add up on top of, sorry to cut you off right there, like, that Dicky pick is so vital because it could actually potentially cancel whatever that Atlas is about to do. So it's very, very vital that RSG catches on that Dicky before anything else.
Yeah, but really smart play coming up for Resurgence. They ban out the Grok because, yeah, you have the carry, and yes, it is good, but we don't want you to be able to clear waves fast. Plus, you're still lacking a tank. Geek Fam understand, hey, that Esmeralda in the side lane could really punish our Uranus. Let's get it out of there. Now, Resurgence, they want to build a Pharsa comp, and I think they're debating whether or not they need to get the Valier, yes or no, because this is a very, very tough option. I'm guessing that Resurgence might even consider getting 2 tanks just for this particular matchup.
Yeah, I was about to say the Tamos as well, because right now I think another fighter that has been really contested is the Cho and the Jawhead, which we might see picked either on either side.
Yeah, that definitely will be a potential pickup, but, well, it gets tougher and tougher for Resurgence right now to see, to look at towards this or the combination that they're bringing out from the side of Geek Fam as well, where, of course, when you bring in that Chow, they will possibly go into hunt out that Pharsa, and Kagura is going to be a little bit slippery. So I'm looking at Geek Fam that has pretty much a little bit of everything. Mobility being checked up, damage output as well as burst, sustainability. It's all in the back. So I would say that Geek Fam side looking pretty much very well balanced. But RSG, how do they respond to this? That one last pick is going to be very, very vital.
Whoa, totally. Oh! This is huge. Resurgence take away the Dominus trademark this time, playing the Gushing. And this is extremely scary because Gushing can one-shot Ozoraveki, can one-shot Feeks. Purify and Flicker ain't gonna save you when that Sword Spike lands. So I like the risk Resurgence is going to take this game. They're going to be playing a composition revolving around their team. It's a 4-1, while Geek Fam want to play 1-3-1. Both going for the hyper carry, both sticking to the meta. This is gonna be game 1, and it's gonna be so big. Resurgence taking a big risk, but if they get this game, it's gonna be large momentum moving on into this series.
I feel like I really love how Resurgence responded to the Diggy and went on with their picks. However, Geek Fam needs to be careful. They really need to Cho and the Diggy really need to catch a lot of kills for carry over here, or else, or either the Kagura. But of course, we do want to see the carry being fed more, as we know Feek's the king of KDA. Now it is time for the game. Let's see who's gonna take game number 1. Geek Fam or Resurgence. Take it away, boys.
Now we're looking at Arts walking in towards the trap immediately. It could have actually been first blood, but he managed to walk away safely. So he's gonna be able to say, "Hey, good try right there." We're gonna be walking right back, but hey, it forces the Uranus to actually fall back. So that's good news enough. So they actually have a little bit more of that smooth cruise for Resurgence.
Yeah, that was a really good call by Resurgence. They expected them to try and go for some information up to the top rush, and they really punished Arts this time around, so he's not going to get the first wave as efficiently. And Resurgence, I like the way that they actually distributed their team composition. Instead of, leaving, I was expecting, Pharsa and KZP to be in one lane, and LY4 and Sync into the other, or maybe some kind of variation between the two. But instead, they made sure that they had the Gusion, and I'm assuming they kind of knew that Arts was prepared to go against the Thalmus, so he did take a lot of armor emblems, and you can see the amount of damage that Sync was able to pump out. So let's see how this goes. So once again, Jason and Zorn going 1v1 against each other, and Zorn should be able to win this out after his burst. Jason forced to back away up into the top side.
Yeah, of course, soaking a little bit more EXP before he goes back. While Santa is actually suffering a little bit blow here. This is first blood going over to Geek Fam and Feeks. The king of KDA representing Geek Fam here is still at it once again.
Yeah, and they're doing an absolutely phenomenal job right now. LY4, oh, they're gonna take this away. No, they can't. They reset it really, really quick. But notice down into the river, Zorn is actually trying to stop Atlas from actually pushing up into the base, pushing up into them, and allowing Geek Fam to actually catch up in that rotation play. So Zorn making a very good call to try and deny KCP that space. And now Zinc going to be dove under turret here. Zorn trying to land that third here. G couldn't go. Pulled back by the time reversal. Zinc holds on to his ground. Oh, unfortunately, the ultimate wasn't enough as the auto alarm bomb runs him down the lane.
Oh, this looks pretty bad. Like, we're looking at the second kill for Feeks as well, and we've definitely looked at Sync on how he moved it pretty well, but here comes KCP though. What a big burst coming from L14! They returned the favor, and right now Resurgence will equalize that kill score.
That was so well played by KZP. Zorbeki had his ultimate, but he bothered to flicker just to catch him off guard. So a good return kill coming in from Resurgence, but that doesn't mean that Geek Fam is completely out of this bout. Turtle is going to be the next objective being contested by both teams. Geek Fam, they know this, but I think they might consider sacrificing or looking for a pick. Zorn is getting uncomfortably close. Feathered airstrike coming through. This is going to deny the space that Geek Fam wanted to get as Resurgence take control and take away the turtle.
Right now, we're looking at Zorn potentially going in for a setup, looking for a Sync once again, but here the Dragon kicks him back, but that's not going to be enough to actually burst him down, but they won't go back to take down Zorn as he overextended a little bit. Great sort of mechanical skills being shown from both sides, but it's LY4 hopping right back in for those kills.
And you have to kind of give credit to Zorn there, because he did have his flicker available, but he saw the amount of time that CC was on him, and he knew he was going to die even if he flickered and shunpoed out of the way. The tenacity isn't going to be enough to save him in that situation, so he's being very efficient. But notice the rotations coming in from Resurgence as they play towards the top side of the map. You can see Sana, he's hovering, he's ready to respond to mid lane if necessary, as Geek Fam find the catch out to LY4, popping the Blazing Duet here. The Purify's going to keep him alive. Art's holding his ground, but he's going to be going down real soon. The first to fall from the side of Geek Fam, but a quick catch by Geek Fam, making sure that LY4 goes down as well. Good trades coming in. Geek Fam come up on top because they're trading their offlaner for LY4. In any case, that will always be worth it.
Yeah, and of course, although Arts did dive right in, It was a really great counter engagement once again coming from Geek Fam to respond it so well to find LY4. Of course, they tried to catch him at first, but he did pop out that Purify, so they have to actually do it on the second tick, which did cost one of their members, which honestly isn't too much. Eventually, late game, Arts will still do what he needs to do with that sort of a split push, as well as getting most of all these Resurgence members way too occupied. But I do wonder, can Geek Fam right now contest for that turtle that just came up online?
It's going to be a little bit tough because they are sending members and prioritizing the top side of the map to try and punish Sync, and Arts can only do so much as Uranus. He can feed information, but I don't think he can steal away the turtle from the side of Resurgence without taking too much damage back, because remember, Sync is running an Execute as well, so even the tankiest of members, if you're below 10% HP, you're within his kill range, and he doesn't even have to pop an ability to use it.
That's right, but speaking of popping abilities here, Fairy Airstrike almost getting Arts clipped down, but he will still be able to actually survive, while Sync is already cutting the wave. RSG looking to eventually secure that bottom side tower, while the top side has been pushed over from the side of Geek Fam, and they are looking to actually do a little bit of trading right here. Well, there's of course that buff going over the hands of LY4.
Yeah, they're just trying to alleviate the pressure for the side of Resurgence here. Oh no, Zorn getting a pretty big Jeet Kune Do, but again, he got caught up once again. Dominus is going to be the next to fall. A Sync making sure he lands his Sword Spike, and that's what I said. That's Sword Spike lands, you're going to die. And Sync just purchased this Lightning Truncheon, so the snowball has only just begun for Resurgence here. They're going to take control of this game for the next 3 minutes until Geek Fam look for the pickup that they're looking for, because Zorn hasn't been able to find it, but KZP with an amazing fatal chains there. The perfect match into the fatal links. A wombo combo of the century. They're trying to break Geek Fam's soul in this best of 5.
That was the most beautiful play that I've ever seen in the grand finals, and in the blink of an eye, they picked up all 3 members, Artsfink as well as Becky here, alongside with a blazing duet, just raise them through. Oh my, I'd really gotta see that in the replay once again if we ever gonna get that. But, oh my. KZP definitely surprised members of Geek Fam right across the wall.
Exactly. So you have, I mean, Geek Fam has to be very aware of KZP's flicker timing, because so far his catches with this ultimate has been phenomenal, as a lot of players just don't expect him to flicker right in the middle of the team just before his big armored mech combines back after, you know, the perfect match. And every single time he's caught Geek Fam out, and the Zoraveki has not been able to respond. Zorn, he can't make as many plays as he used to, as Resurgence have gotten a significant lead and have just hit their item power spike. LY4 noticeably has just bought the golden staff, so he is going to be pumping out damage like no tomorrow.
That's right, things are looking pretty much scary. LY4 is looking to actually take one more buff away from Geek Fam, and with that, they are looking to slowly crash right in towards the bottom, as the next objective is still pretty much far away. So, with that being said, they really have to do something about the mid lane turret at the same time, but we're looking at Zorn being pretty much prepared to actually take on the fight. He's been stalking for quite some time here, but let's see what they possibly pulled out. Oh, those shots though.
Yeah, those shots are really, really painful. But Zorn, remember, he's in the back line here. He's looking for the catch, but Dominus, he's trying to dodge everything. He dodges the sword spike. He manages with 1 HP to survive, but they see Zorn in the back line. They immediately collapse on him. KZP isn't gonna let him get even remotely close to Resurgence. And once again, this game is just going downhill for the side of Geek Fam.
Wow, this is pretty much reminiscent of the sort of pain that they brought upon Orange Esports Reborn. And of course, with this being said, looking at that sort of the goal advantage of Resurgence, it's very, very hard for Geek Fam to actually get back up on track, unless if there's going to be a slight misstep coming from the side of Resurgence over on towards extending to get some all these tier 3 turrets. So that's going to be the Lord coming up in pretty much 30 seconds from here. Maybe Geek Fam can look for a good fight and a pick off here. And the question is, how do they actually catch over onto Sync here?
I mean, a lot of it has to do with whether or not Zorn can actually get to the right targets, but he's just so far behind compared to the rest of Resurgence. He's a whole level down. LY4 has reached level 15, and despite Feet starting off really, really well with a 3-in-1 KDA, he hasn't been able to catch up to LY4 after those fights. And now that Lord is coming back up, Zorn, look at the amount of damage he's taking. He just can't willy-nilly walk in and out of fights, and you can see just the significant decrease in the amount of emotes he's giving out because Resurgence is completely shutting him down.
And of course, LY4 has the power to also take this Lord by himself. And even more problems to come for Geek Fam because they can't even exit their base to do anything at all. All they can do, perhaps, is to look to clear up waves. Osana, of course, looking for that 1v1, bringing Zorn pretty low. But he does have Becky to back him up with the rest of it. And this fort itself is actually moving in towards the mid lane, which is going to be very, very much a high impact play needed from Geek Fam to respond to this.
Right now, Geek Fam have two options. Either Zorn figures out a way to either isolate LY4 or force Jason out of that feathered airstrike, or Dominus somehow lands that flame shot onto Jason again, but this is not looking good. They're trying to break into the inhibitor space. Zorn looking for the angle, but just doesn't seem to find it yet, as Dominus using the yin-yang overturn early to clear out the waves. So Zoraveki, he can't walk up too far. He has to time this ultimate because right now he is in no position to save his team. Resurgence, just like a bank, are increasing their compound interest, gaining more and more gold as the game goes by. KZP forces himself to walk back out, but Sana has been isolated. He's going to be going down, but the immortality is going to save him. Are they able to turn this around as LY4 comes in with a huge blazing sweat? He's overextended. The tower shot has killed him. KZP, the next to fall. Sig is still one of the best mid laners in our country, has done it again and cleaned up the rest of the team, leaving Jason almost at 50% HP against Zorn. He's gonna end this game. Jason unfazed by Zorn. Tenacity takes this game away. This is just game one out of many. Resurgence, they've got the momentum pumping up behind them. Look at the smiles of these boys. They're not even jumping for joy. They're like, just another day at work.
Yeah,
man, what a
Pharsa.
game here. Yeah, man, dude, oh my god, look at these. These guys look super calm for people who are in the grand finals right now. I mean, oh, look at that. Okay, number one. Game number one is out and over, and you gotta give it to Resurgence. Great game over there. We talked about this. I think their response in the draft was on point right after the Diggy pick. The cushion pick was amazing, as Gideon mentioned earlier, how he can bring so much damage and so much danger into Veki, into Dominus or Feeks perhaps. And there was so many times that Veki was not even able to use his time journey, and KZP did an amazing job at the fatal change. 2 times that were very crucial, early game and once mid game under the turret, that he saved so many kills for his teammates.
Yeah,
I think, the biggest mistakes coming in from Geek. Oh, sorry to cut you off, Aaron, but yeah.
How
the
dare you
biggest
get
mistakes that game. Don't worry. The biggest, again, Ozora Veki was, I would have to say in this particular game, the weakest link for Geek Fam here, because again, a lot of these fights were based around his time journey. If he could just get that time journey a little bit sooner against RSG, this game would have turned 360 around. But every single time they played around KZP's flicker, and every time it was up, they're like, okay, KZP tells his team, hey, I can make a play right here. Just be ready on my call. And Jason, he's got that feather airstrike. His fingers are just hovering over it.
That's right.
Yeah.